Hello everyone, welcome back to our new video. In the previous session, what we have done is we have downloaded Anaconda and we have used one IDE, that is Jupyter, and we have printed things using print function. Now moving ahead, in this session we'll be talking about data types that are available in Python. All right, so first a few primitive data types, the basic one we'll see, and then we'll move to some advanced data types that are there into Python. Okay, so let's see first four basic data types. All right, so we start with integer. Okay, so in short, it is written as int. The best thing about Python is we don't even have to specify the data type. So, like for example, when I talk about integer, it's a whole number basically, right? It's 5 minus 10, can be negative or a positive value, but it has to be a whole number. So what you do is, of course, we'll be going to Jupyter and we'll be saying the examples of it, but just people coming from the C, C++, Java background. So for them, let me tell you, like, what you used to do is int a used to define a variable and a equals to 5. That's what you used to do. Here in Python we don't have to do that. Here directly we have to write a equals to 5, and it will understand that you have defined a variable a and whose value is 5 basically. All right, so that is what int. All right, so then the second type is float. If you have a fraction number that you want to store, so you will be going with a float value basically, or it's a fraction basically. But yeah, remember it, into Python we don't call it as a fraction data type. It's just a float basically. All right, then if you want to represent sequences of character, can be anything, guys, any character, like normal string, like your name, my name, and then Python you want to store into a variable. That thing is called as string. And remember one thing, any character can be stored as a string. It can be a special symbol. It can be 123. 123 seems to be an integer value, right? Of course it is, but it can also be stored as a string. All right, we'll see all the examples once we back to Jupyter. All right, so then we also have something called as boolean. So it can take two possible values. It is true or false. All right, so we use that a lot of time, especially when it comes to the conditions. All right, so this is what we have. And there are some advanced data types into Python. They're very useful. So we have list, which is denoted by square bracket, dictionary, which is denoted by curly bracket, tuple, which is denoted by round bracket, and set, again denoted by curly brackets. Okay, so don't worry, I'll be teaching those things into another session. But now let's move to the Jupyter. So I told you how to start. You just have to go to start and just type Jupyter. So it will open up this. And if you remember, into desktop I have created a folder by the name Python. I have asked you to do the same thing. So oops, there seems to be some server issue. Let me just open it again. So I will type Jupyter. Sorry for the spelling mistake. Yeah, Jupyter, and then this window will get open in the browser. Superb. So from here in the desktop folder, I have created a Python folder for you guys, and you can see the print function we have already done. Now what we have to do is again go to new and create a Python 3 file. So it will create a IPYNB file for us, and the name will be untitled. We will be changing it to, now what we are doing is data types, right? So just write it data types so that it will be easy for us to recognize this file later on. And now let's start, guys. So the first thing that I will be doing is I will be initializing one integer value. All right, so let's just say a equals to 5, and shortcut I have already informed you that shift enter you have to press. And now what will happen is a will be declared as an integer variable, and right now it is holding 5 value. It is called as a variable because later I can change the value of a to anything, right? So I can say a equals to 7.5. Now the variable a is holding 7.5. It becomes a float value and is holding altogether a different value. For that reason it's called as variable. Remember it. Now let's just cross verify whether we have a or no. So you can see if you're just printing a, it is printing 5 here, right? So we got that for sure, right? One more thing, like let's just cross check whether what is the data type of a, is it integer or something else. So there's a function called type. So we're just going to type and we say a, and can you see this? It's showing the int, stands for integer value. All right, let's define a fraction value now. And to programming, I just told you that we call that as a float value basically, right? So let's say type of b. If you see clearly, it is mentioning it to be what? A float value. All right guys, so we have declared a integer value as of now and a float value. Let's move and declare something else now. Let's see, the third was a string value basically, right? So let me declare my name. C equals to Amer if I'm saying. So if you just cross check what is the type of C, so you can see it is str. One important thing that you have to note here is all the string values will be in single quote or double quotes or triple quotes. Okay, I'm just right now I'm just going with single quotes, so you can't simply write like this. Okay, so you can't write C equals to Amer, because try to understand, if you write C equals to Amer, it will think that Amer is a name of a variable. It will search for a variable whose name is Amer, right? So it ultimately will be getting the error. So if you want to check what is the error that we'll be getting, so you can see name Amer is not defined. It's clearly telling, I search for a variable by the name Amer. I'm not able, I didn't get it, so I'm giving you the error. But when you write that thing, when you write any string value inside single quotes, it will understand the normal uh, string that you are defining right now. So you can see, and you can cross verify that C is actually Amer. All right, so one more thing, important thing about string is I told you, like I can define C equals to 5. Now can you see this? I have defined 5 inside quotes. Simply means it's no more a normal variable the way we have written equals to 5. Here the a was integer value, but here when you are writing C equals to 5, you can just cross check again. The type of C is still string, and you can see when you're printing C, it is printing inside single quote. So um, at the start only I told you that, right? So anything can be stored as a string value. All right, only the thing is you have to put single quotes and that will become a string value. Is that clear? I hope you understood so far so good. I hope so. Now moving ahead, one more important concept, like of the boolean value. Let me just have a boolean value like, let me have x equals to, I can have true, and you can see when you print x it will be true. And similarly, I told you it can have a false value as well, so x equals to false. When you print the value of x, it is false. Let me just show you the type of x as well. All right, so let's say type of x, so you can clearly see it's bool, it stands for boolean value. All right, so these are the basic data types that we have inside Python. So of course we'll be moving to the advanced data type as well. And now let me show you some basic example. Like for example, I want to write a code. Okay, hash stands for the comment basically. So you write hash and you write anything that will be considered as comment, that won't be considered as part of your code. An interpreter won't execute this line. So whenever you have to write something for your understanding, you will write comments. So for example, I want to write a program in Python. I'll write a program to calculate area of circle with radius equals to 5.5, for example. That's the question we have given with. So we are moving and doing our first Python program. So let's start with this. First we need to declare a variable, guys. So our radius equals to 5.5. It is clearly asking us to take the radius as 5.5, so we are defining r equals to 5.5. The name of the variable should be according to its work. So you can have it as radius or rad or re. I'm just going with a single alphabet, that's r equals to 5.5. All right, then next is I want to calculate the area, right? So pi r square is the area of circle, 3.14 into r. So that's how you will be calculating, right? Now important thing that you need to understand here is, once you write any mathematical equation, you need to store its value inside some other variable. Otherwise what will happen is your interpreter will calculate the value of this 3.14 into 5.5 into 5.5, but as you're not storing it anywhere, it will just simply move to the next line and your result is not saved anywhere. Understood? So we need to have, like, for example, I am declaring a variable area equals to, one important thing to be noted here, whenever you have a mathematical equation, of course it will be on the right hand side. So remember, it will get executed first. You will be getting a single value, and that value will be stored into left hand side variable. All right, so this will be calculated, and whatever single value that you'll be getting, that will be stored into this area. All right, and then simply let's print now. One more concept coming up. As of now, into print statement, if you remember, we just have simply printed things directly, right? I mean, area of circle is, what we want to print is the value of area variable. For example, if I'm just putting like this, so you can see it carefully what we are getting the output. Of course, these two things are done, and then whatever you are printing, that is getting printed here, right? Area of circle is area is what is getting printed. Now area is actually name of the variable, but as it is into the single quotes, it thought, it's just a normal string word. Now to differentiate between string and the variable name, we have to separate them into print statement. Remember, whatever you want to print as it is into print statement will come into single, double or triple quotes. We generally go with single quotes. So area of circle is will be into single quote because we want to print it as it is, right? Now I want to print area, which is actually the variable name, right? So the value of area we need to print. So after this, we will be writing area, and to separate them, we need to put in between a comma. So what will happen is it will print this as it is, area of circle is, and then after it will print the value of area. You can see it now, area of circle is, here it has calculated the area as 3.14 into 5.5 into 5.5, and that is what the value we are getting it here. All right, so this is what I wanted to show you here in this session. I hope you understood the basic data types. Better name it as basic data types or core data types, whatever you want to, but we do have advanced data types as well that we will explore in next session. We will explore input function. So here you can understand we have taken the input from, we have not taken the input from the user, we have taken the values directly, so they are called as hard coded values. Now we'll be taking input from the user. All right, into the next session, that's what we'll be saying. So that's it for this session. Let's meet in the next session. Thank you.